first of all, just want for anybody listening to know, how did Glenn get involved with such a huge and popular show as Opportunity Frocks?
Suppose you'd have to go back to the very beginning and how frocks came to be. It all started in 2008 when then Miss Tina Legs Tantrum took part in the UK's Next Top Drag contest, which was Opportunity Frocks.
Yeah.
The contest initially was actually a fundraiser for the Terence Higgins Trust, and it was initially put together by two lovely gentlemen in Glasgow. Tina went on to win, and later that night backstage we were talking about the contest Opportunity Frocks with the two guys. And really, they sort of just give us the seal of approval to take the whole idea, the name, all of that, and sort of to bring it back to Belfast. So that's really how we started.
And how did you find starting the show? Did you find it was hard to sort of find its bearings, and did you think it was going to be easy to take off?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's quite an interesting thing. At the time, it was 2008, the Alternative Miss Ireland, I had been to a couple of times, and I think initially when we started, it was just Jerry and myself.
Yeah.
And we had these grand visions of this being an AMI extravaganza. We were going to charge 30 quid a ticket. We were going to sell the place out. It was going to be amazing. It was just going to be brilliant. And of course, in reality, it was a long way from that, primarily because nobody had heard of the contest before.
Sure.
We didn't really know what we were going to do with it in terms of the rounds. You well know, over the years, the contest has morphed and changed, and we've adapted it to sort of to suit the audience, and we think we've now sort of found the niche with it.
Yeah. And did you ever see it like going maybe even like 10 years? Did you see it lasting that long?
Never thought that it would last 10 years. If I'm honest, I've been saying for the past 10 years that I'm leaving Opportunity Frocks. Just every year, it's been one of those things that, it's quite a draining process to go through. And I think when you initially start out, you sort of go through the cycles of emotion of, is this going to be popular? Are people going to understand it? Are they going to come along? And so on. So I think really both myself, Jerry, aka Tina, and Peter, every year, we're just really grateful that we raise enough money within this year to fund the following year. So we really are grateful for that.
And how do you feel about what it's sort of done for, giving drag talent a platform in Belfast? How do you think that's sort of helped?
Well, I think as a platform, I think it's exactly that, and I think that's the right word to use, because ultimately, when we started out, we were looking for some fresh faces. I was listening to a couple of your podcasts. I think the one that I listened to most recently was with Twanda, and you were talking just about the sort of the good old days where, if you recall, the good old days were sort of circa 2008, around the same time that Opfrocks took off. And
yeah.
There weren't really, drag really was, it was sort of it was a regal thing where you had the big names, such as Tina and Trudy, and they were sort of the elite queens that were about at the time. Lots of people had came and they tried, and but nobody had really made it. So we were really looking for fresh faces. Then we were trying to find people who could come to the stage, perform, and ultimately be the next big thing on the Belfast scene. So as a platform, we're very fortunate that we've had some amazing and talented people come through the show. Our first winner, the first time that we done the show here in Belfast was actually in 2009, and our very first winner was Rusty Hinges.
Uh-huh.
And let's fast forward almost 10 years later, and Rusty is an established queen within the Ireland circuit of drag.
Yeah.
So
I
think
even,
it's a great.
Even Rusty's good friend Roxy was a contestant. Never got placed, but still made a big name for herself.
Absolutely. I mean, I've listened to, again, as I said earlier, on a lot of your podcasts where I think everybody recognizes that it's not everything to get placed. Taking your question, which was it's a platform. I think one of the things with Rusty in particular, she took the title. Went and met with some of the local press in Banbridge. She got photographs taken. There was a news article about her. Rusty's insane wit with uploading photographs. Of her. I think it was. With her crying on. Sorry, the next morning with her. Just all of that. It's what you make with it. It's what take from the contest as a platform and really use that to sell yourself.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Sorry. So with you being in like the production of Opfrocks, Glenn, do you have like a favourite thing you like to be involved with? Is there like something it keeps you that drive going that you like to be part of the show?
I think a lot of the show I think part of the reason why I've never really managed to leave, although I threatened every single year, was I think it's the dynamic. I think if we look at the committee as it stands, we call it the committee. It's really just myself, Tina, and Peter. But if we take a look at up close, you've got Jerry, who is the talent. He's the host. Jerry does all of the drag related elements there, so he helps with selection of the queens, and some of the general running order on the day, all of the drag things. Yeah. That's Jerry's that's Jerry's niche right there. That's his thing within the contest. Then you've got Peter, who Peter is the technical aspect of it. He does all of our graphics. He does all of the audio visual, of amazing and wonderful things that you see on Facebook. And in terms of the visual representation of the show and the theme, Peter takes care of all of that. Yeah. And then my role within that is ultimately the marketing aspect and the key decision maker. So I think when you've got the subject matter experts and we come together, I think we all really work well together. So I think I'm quite comfortable where I am in terms of the show and certainly my involvement in it. I certainly want to see the show do well. So I try to think a lot about just how we can market it every year. What's the theme? How are we going to approach the selection process, as I've already said, and so on. So there's lots of elements in there, but I think we're all sort of codependent on each other. We certainly couldn't do the show without Peter. Certainly couldn't do the show without Tina, and I think I would hopefully feel that they couldn't do the show without me.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I can tell you this is a Tea with Tanya exclusive. I can tell you that the selection process this year is different. The selection process is going to be a series of heats.
Oh.
So what we're going to do this time, rather than obviously at the moment we've got 27 people have applied. Or is it 28 now? Sorry,
28.
I think it's 28.
Yeah.
We've got 28 queens who have applied. Every year we have an awful task of trying to whittle those numbers down. And whilst maintaining the integrity of the contest, we often select people based on their online personas. So we have a look around their Facebook profiles, their Snapchats, their Twitter feeds, or whatever videos that we can sort of find online of that queen, and we try to make a judgment on their performance ability from that. So this year we're actually going to give every queen that has entered an opportunity to perform for us. We're going to host a series of 4 heats. It's 1 heat over 4 weeks.
Yeah.
These are going to start on Tuesday, the 29th of August. And there's a second show on the 5th, the 12th, and the 19th of September. At this moment in time, we're probably looking at having somewhere around 7 or 8 queens on the heats each week, and we're going to get them to come along and prepare three numbers for us. It's 100% their choice, so they can come and they can do whatever they like. It's going to be the heats are going to be held in the Shoe Factory. in Belfast. So we're going to invite everybody along to those. And ultimately, it's a real opportunity then for people to show us exactly what they can do. The winner from each of the shows will automatically progress then into the grand final, which will take place then on Saturday, the 4th of November at the Belfast Empire. We will put all the information about this online, so you will find it on our Facebook page, which is at Opfrocks. On Twitter, we're at Opfrocks. On Instagram, on at Opfrocks on Snapchat, and also on our website, which is www.opfrocks.co.uk. So you'll find all of the information on there.
And have you even thought about judges this year? How do you go about picking just the right judge for the panel?
Well, we've had a number of judges over the years. I think we've had everybody from Davina. We had Shirley Temple from down south. She was up with us one year. We had Victoria. We've had our very own Trudy Scrumptious. We've had Rusty. We've had Paul Ryder. We've had Shamola. We've had Martin and Dougie. You know, we've had polarizing judges over the years. But I think one of the things that we find, which is certainly great in terms of the general chemistry on the evening, is when we get drag queens together. So this year we have already secured 2 out of our 3 judges. I can give you another Tea with Tanya exclusive.
Oh,
the first judge, we're bringing back Trudy. I think Trudy is great.
Yes.
She's very, very. Trudy is. Last year in particular, you'll recall perhaps, even if you've watched the videos which are available on our YouTube channel at Opfrocks on YouTube. You know, Trudy is the first. She's ruthless when it came to the second round, or sorry, the first round, which was the talent round. As you know, last year we introduced the buzzers.
Trudy.
What were you doing?
I'm only joking. I wasn't drawing that.
Oh, you were drawing stuff. Because it says on here, she's going to be drawing stuff. And I kind of sort of wondered you were going to do, like, you know, you were going to, like, draw something. But you actually didn't really draw anything. But, do you know what? If Roxy Tumbledryer and Misty Falls had a baby, that would be her. Roxy Falls.
On a number of occasions, Trudy was the first to buzz. So I think there's that sort of ruthlessness, which is just brilliant. It adds to the sort of the overall atmosphere on the evening. So Trudy's our first confirmed judge for Opfrocks 2017.
brilliant.
Our second confirmed judge is we're bringing back our very first crowned queen, was the first queen in Belfast, which is of course the talented Rusty Hinges, and I think that's a real nice way of
Yes.
sort of going 360. Now it's not the first time that Rusty has judged for us. I'm sure you'll recall she's done it a couple of years ago, but I think it's just that it's a real nice way of, you know, a bit like the X Factor, if you like, when you've got judge. You know, you had I think it's like Alexander Burke done it for an episode, you know, after winning it and so on. So it's just nice to sort of to bring back some of our previous winners to help judge our final queen.
Yeah, and have you yourself, Glenn, got like a favourite round of the whole show over the years? Has there been one that you've just went, this is my, I can't wait for this round?
Depends on what year you want to ask me that question,
Okay.
Tanya, because over the years I've observed some comedy gold and some absolute car crash.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I think the formula that we have now, I think is brilliant. I really liked last year's formula. I think when you go back and you look at a lot of the videos, so, and before last year we had Tea with Tina, which was Tina just came out. Tina was sitting on the stage. We put out a couple of chairs. We escorted on the queens with a butler in the buff. We introduced the musical chairs round. And I think to really answer your question, I think that's got to be my most favouriteest round. I think it's the one round which is really competitive, but it's also really funny to watch. Musical chairs is one of those things you get when you're small kid, you're at a child's party, and it's a bit of fun, and it's all supposed to be just light-hearted. But when you're on the stage at Opfrocks, we're talking grown adults, queens who are all out for the competition. Tina has them hopping round stage on one leg, walking backwards, doing twirls and all sorts. And then it's the defining moment is when you're down to the one chair. My most favourite moment of that entire round, of the entire contest, was the year that Anorexia.
Oh, and Misty, yeah.
I think it was Misty Falls was on stage, and they literally, I think Anorexia face planted the back wall of the stage, and the pair of them, we had to rest. They were wrestling over the chair, and Tina had to split it up 2 or 3 times. And again, for anybody that's listening and really wants to watch something like this, if you go onto our YouTube channel, just look at Opportunity Frocks, round 2 musical chairs, and it'll show you Anorexia. I think it's 2011 was the year that we done this. It's really worth a watch. It's very, very funny. But yeah, that would be the one round that I think that certainly stands out for me.
You know what? I was scared to ask you about your worst bit. So,
Why?
Glenn, before we leave, what's been your worst bit at Opportunity Frocks over the last 10 years?
Well, I'll give you my best bit.
Yeah.
I think the best bit for me has certainly been all of the money that we've raised to support Belfast Pride Festival. I think
Sure.
I can't give you a final figure. Pride can give you the final figure, I'm sure, but I've never really asked, because more often than not it's, here, this is the money, just take it, I'm going to get pissed.
Yeah.
But I think we've raised in almost 10 years probably in and around £25,000 for Pride Festival.
Wow,
And
that's
that's quite a
amazing.
significant sum, because it's £25,000 that they wouldn't have got from anywhere else. So it's really positive. The worst part of Opportunity Frocks for me is, well, there was this one time, I think sometimes the clients can sometimes be a bit difficult.
Okay.
There was this just one year. It was a couple of years ago. One of our contestants was crowned, and another one we had to give Miss Congeniality to, and we had a really unfortunate stage invader that year. And no matter speaking to this person, they just were having none of it. So I think that would probably be the worst Opportunity Frocks experience. Yeah, I would go with that one.
Yeah, and that person, I'm sure they've lived to regret that ever since.
Yes, do you know what? It was. They were very gracious and very apologetic a couple of months later, and they seen the errors of their ways. But you know what? I only joke. But I don't think I've got any worst bits, if I'm honest. I think I've enjoyed every part of it, and I think a lot of it's been worthwhile. As I say, fundraising is something which perhaps maybe people don't realise is quite a challenge when it comes to something like Pride. They rely on a lot of the goodwill, people to give up their time and so on. So I've been very fortunate to be one of the key fundraisers for them, non-commercial fundraisers, over the years, myself, Jerry and Peter. So I think that's been one of the greatest highlights of my entire Opportunity Frocks experience.
Yeah, and I've got a very much long history of memories with the show, and I don't know, it's just always became a part of my life every year, and I think I sort of respect the contest, that it has just done so much for me. When I've felt like I've been on the outs with the drag, and then I've came around Opportunity Frocks, it's always sort of just boosted my confidence again. So yeah.
It's funny. Opfrocks is just one of those shows that it's a night out, and this is where we go back to what we were saying earlier on about it being off the gay scene. It's a night out, and for a lot of people who perhaps maybe feel slightly intimidated getting into a gay establishment, or just don't feel comfortable perhaps, it gives them an opportunity to see drag for what it is. A bit of fun, artistic expression, a night out. We always put we always put memes onto things. Like we look at some of the previous photographs from years gone, and we ask people to caption. There's always those sort of fun things. We try and encourage people just to let their hair down for a night, come out, have a bit of fun with us, help us raise a bit of money and get drunk while you're doing it. And it means a lot, that even just from what you're saying, in terms of providing a bit of confidence to yourself, if we're providing a bit of self-confidence for any of the contestants or anybody that's attributed to the show, then that's a real nice bonus.
Yeah, and also the amount of friends and that you make over the years is just, it's one of the things you appreciate.
Yeah, we've always had a really good sisterhood when it comes to Opfrocks. I know that a lot of people, you get a chance to meet a lot of people that you would never really have maybe spoken to before. Having been backstage when the show has been on, there's always a great sort of atmosphere with the Queens. Everybody's really positive. There's lots of the word I'm thinking of is camaraderie. Nobody wants to see any of the other contestants stuck. So if it's helping with makeup or the lending of accessories or anything like that at all, all of the contestants have always turned up with the spirit of the contest, which is a bit of fun, and really just an opportunity to go out and to show people what you're made of. Question for you.
Oh God.
Can you remember all of the Queens you've won?
I can, yes.
Go for it.
Okay, so obviously Tina, Rusty, Trisha, Lady Peaches Monroe, Pauletta, Anorexia, Candy Carousel, Sabrina Bewitched, and Blue Hydrangea.
That's very good. Now, I'm keen to find out, did you have that written down?
I did not, believe me or not, I did not.
So where are you getting your information from?
Just being a big follower of the show over the last 10 years. Just it's you only have 9. Yeah, I know you only have 9 winners, so it's not that hard to remember.
Well, actually, in saying that, I was panicking in case you asked me that question. So, because as you know, we've had over 100 queens come through the contest over the years, and it's challenging to remember everybody. We only ever speak to people leading up to the contest via group chat and web. There's been nights that they've walked into the contest and I'm like, hi, who are you?
Yes.
Because a lot of them have came in drag, and we often communicate with them through just their normal Facebook, and so sometimes it can be quite challenging to remember who everybody is. But yeah, I am a little disappointed that Opportunities Frocks is drawn to an end. But I think, as I said to you already, I think it's a nice time for it to sort of bow out and give somebody else an opportunity to bring something fresh to the forefront and allow me to come and to be a customer or a spectator and just to enjoy it, because I've never been able to enjoy an Opportunity Frocks from start to finish, unfortunately.
Exactly. So, well, we've still 7 months to go, Glenn. We will take our Pro Plus and just pace ourselves. Is there anything else you'd like to say to us before we go?
All I would say is that if anybody is wanting to take part in this year's contest, we are accepting entries up until the Friday, I think it's Friday the 31st of July or the 30th of July, the last Friday in July. We will be accepting entries, and people can take part by simply going to www.opfrocks.co.uk/contact. You can Google it, it'll come up. You can type in Opportunity Frocks, or you can just type in Opfrocks and it will come up. Just fill in the application form. We'll pop you onto the website where you can then promote, get people to go out and to start hearting. We introduced a new voting system on our website as it stands. It's just a bit of fun. It's not for any reason. I know that in previous years we've asked people to go out, we've asked them to vote, and we've used that to help decide, but as you pointed out, we've got 7 months. The real voting will only start whenever we stop accepting entries. For those people that have applied, we're really looking forward to seeing you on our heats. Those dates again is the 29th, which is a Tuesday, 29th of August, the Tuesday the 5th of September, Tuesday the 12th of September, and Tuesday the 19th of September, and that will be in the Shoe Factory in Belfast. So we're looking forward to seeing you all there. Our final show will be, again, as I mentioned earlier, on Saturday the 4th of November at the Belfast Empire. All of the information that we've already talked about will be on our Facebook page, which is Opportunity Frocks. You can find us on Instagram, you can find us on Snapchat, we're on YouTube, we're on any social platform. I'm almost sure I've signed up to them all. So if you get on there, like us, subscribe, just get in touch. If you've any questions, you can drop us a mail, and we'll get back to you.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, Glenn, thank you for taking the time tonight to give us an insight. As always, it's a pleasure.
Listen, no problem, and thank you very much for having me. And can I just say, I'm enjoying listening to your podcast daily. It's definitely something different. It's very insightful to see to hear the opinions of people who I see about all of the time that perhaps maybe I don't get the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation with. So it's great. Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm enjoying it too. It's good to hear everybody's got a different story, and it's nice to just learn, and some stuff you maybe not even know about that you get told. It's a good wee thing.
Yes, you're absolutely right, and I love nothing more than hearing you say, every second.
you know.
Do you know, I was actually preparing for this interview. Every time that you said the word, I was going to press a button.
Oh, fuck! It's Opfrocks all over again. Well, actually, it's not. I never got buzzed, so I'm fine.
Well, actually, and that's very true. That's very true. But yes, what did you think of last year's buzzers and stuff? It
was the most nerve-wracking thing, because I was worrying weeks before I went into the contest that I could have a talent, but it might take me a minute or so to get to the actual talent part, and I could be buzzed off before then. So it was a bag of nerves. It was just, my talent was actually, there was method behind the madness, was distract the judges any way I can, so that, occupy them, so they're not going to be tempted to lift their hand on that buzzer. So I done what I could. It was very reckless, but I enjoyed it.
Well, you came third place, and I think it was very well deserved. I think I certainly, for the parts that I seen, you were very funny, and the people that we spoke to, who was in my company at the time, also thought that you were very funny. So I think that's a testament to your own creative ability. I think this year, though, I think one of the things that I certainly would have liked to have seen last year from that element, or from that round, was maybe a bit of an opportunity for the judges to speak.
Yeah.
As to why it buzzed. So we're definitely this is another Tea with Tanya exclusive. We're also going to give the judges an opportunity to critique.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
To help explain why they buzzed. And give them an opportunity for that conversation. And I think that's also part of the fun, because if you disagree with the judges, you could probably just say so, and I think the audience will get behind you. And I think this is great why someone like Trudy is just perfect as a judge, because she really doesn't seem to play to the audience, and will absolutely stand by her convictions. So anyway, listen, really nice to talk to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Glenn. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
And of course, don't be forgetting, this week we can also find out more from Glitzy Glamour, Fifi Geisha and Bonnie and Clyde. So thank you for tuning in, folks, and I will be back soon.